Hey there. Today I'm gonna meet Kevin Groen. He's an international consultant and storyteller, and he's a very passionate guy. I'm curious about the choice he made in his life. You're gonna see that in this interview. Nice, Kevin.
Yeah,
Nice to see you again
yeah, good to see you too.
here in Amsterdam. I can be super happy that I meet you here in Amsterdam, because last time I talked to you, yeah, you were traveling all over
Yeah.
the world.
Yeah.
You still do?
No,
No?
I've stopped traveling the world.
Okay.
I am now mostly Amsterdam and Berlin. That's where my
Okay.
life currently happens.
But because you like traveling,
I love traveling.
and you like working abroad.
I love working abroad. Yes.
So what happened then?
I realized that my traveling was at the end of the day was just an escape.
Okay.
And I
Okay.
had to slow it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's okay. That's something. Well, if you say it like this, I can really also recognize it sometimes for myself. Like the
Yeah.
situation where you're in, you don't want to be in it anymore, and it's easy to go out. But
Yeah.
then when you come back, it's the same. It's the same situation when you're back home.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's quite a big step then if you like the traveling.
Yeah.
Okay. And is it then also like this is the most important choice that you made, like the one choice that changed all your life around, or?
I'm not necessarily sure if it's the most important choice. There's
Okay.
definitely a couple of choices in decisions that I've made in my life that have
Yeah.
a big impact. But in the last couple of years, this has definitely been the most important decision that I've made.
Okay.
And that is the decision to stop, and what I call stop hiding behind meaningful work.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Behind meaningful work,
Yeah.
pretending to let it be meaningful. To
No,
be
so in my work, I help other people, and for me that is incredibly meaningful. So I being in service of something bigger. But at the end of the day, a couple of years ago, I realized that kind of like always going after the next project and always going into the next seminar and going to the next conference and doing the next training was for me a way to keep myself busy so I didn't have to confront the shit that was piling up in my own life.
Okay.
And the irony, of course, behind it is me helping other people to get their life sort of
Yeah. Yeah.
sorted out.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was just avoiding that confrontation.
Yeah.
And so I would say to myself, yeah, let's just do this project because it's meaningful. And it was meaningful. It was just, but at the end of the day, it became an excuse. So the more things I had to do, the more projects I was involved in, the more I was, minimizing the time between one project and another project.
Yeah.
The less time or the less possibility I had to sit down and say, what the fuck is happening with my
With your
my
own life. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
And do you want to give an example of a thing like that, or is it?
Yeah, January 2015 was through a couple of experiences. I realized there was one evening where I was going to visit a friend in Barcelona, and because of different reasons we couldn't meet, and I ended up unexpectedly spending the weekend alone. And I was looking forward to it because we were gonna do sightseeing and catching up, and then suddenly I had to spend 3 days on my own. And the Saturday evening when I was walking the streets looking for a restaurant to eat, and eating alone is not necessarily an issue because before I was traveling so much for work that I was often going to restaurants
on your own,
and I was on
a
my own.
hotel or
But this time I was standing on the corner of an intersection waiting for the traffic light, and then this sudden loneliness. Like I felt this sudden loneliness just overwhelm me.
Yeah.
And this wasn't just feeling lonely because I was supposed to spend the weekend with a friend. And this wasn't just feeling lonely because I was supposed to spend the weekend with a friend.
That's deep, Kevin. Yeah, I must say I'm very honored that you share this. And it was a funny moment that the camera battery just dropped. We were talking about. You were talking about the emotional feeling of loneliness and the heaviness of loneliness. Can we continue? Can we continue there?
Sure. So I think that was the first time I realized that 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 I had been building up loneliness into my life. I had just been ignoring it because I kept myself busy, and meaningful work. At the end of the day, it became an excuse to keep myself busy and not deal with it, because my lifestyle of always living somewhere for a year, never staying somewhere, always running, also meant that I hadn't invested time and effort in building up a social network, investing in romance,
deeper romance, of course. It's also an important thing, but also the deeper friendship,
real human connection. And
like on a Sunday afternoon, and watching a video with a friend,
I was just always busy, and I think it was the first time where, because of the circumstances there, that it hit me, and that it was that I was in fact running away from it, and it was the first time I stood still in many years, realizing if I don't want to feel this, if I don't want to have that loneliness in my life, then I need to make some changes in my life. And I can't help other people as part of my job if I don't first take care of myself.
Yeah, exactly. And then how do you then take care of yourself? It was like letting emotions run.
No, the hardest part was I had no fucking clue where to start. That was like 2015 was one of the toughest years, because the realization of that feeling of loneliness led to me realizing that I had created that. It led me to realize that I had sabotaged some very promising romantic relationships. It ultimately also got me to realize that on a financial level, working independently, self-employed, wasn't working out, because I was making a lot of wrong choices by keeping myself busy with the wrong things. I got served the bill at the end of the year physically as well. So having being physically kind of burned out. And so I had 2015 became all this year of all these realizations, but I also didn't really know where to start, because I didn't have the financial security to say no to a lot of work. I didn't know how I was suddenly going to change my life and build in more social time, because I had projects all over the world. But I know that one evening was definitely the starting point.
And then I guess it's hard for you to, or at least you cannot make changes directly. No. So it's just a process of you changing your behavior, and although you know it, you just
it is a process.
Yeah, exactly.
And for me, the first thing I realized is I didn't have an answer, but I knew that I had to allow myself to feel, because that was the one thing I had been neglecting for 6-7 years. I neglected to feel anger. I neglected to feel loneliness. I neglected to feel pain. And
then can I say that then it becomes bigger, and you just push it more away.
And then work becomes an escape rather than actually very purpose driven. It becomes an excuse not to look at myself, and that's one of the biggest things that has changed.
Okay. And it also, I think, has a big impact on the way because you're a nudger, which means that you are a change manager, which also implies that if you are able to change your own behavior, then you also can have a bigger impact emotionally. Also, this emotional connection with your audience, and to also have them for them a bigger impact.
But it does, and a lot of things have changed ever since I stopped running. I have made some decisions of not traveling so much for work anymore, because it was physically just destroying me. So now my life is now between Berlin and Amsterdam, and those are amazing cities that I love.
Definitely.
So I started to make more money. I have met a lot of people that I'm now much closer with. I started investing in people that were real friends, and I started getting rid of people that weren't friends at all. Ever since I've opened my heart fully again, got hurt pretty badly twice in the process, but the fact that I felt, for the first time, I felt that I was investing in really giving myself to a romance, and then getting hurt in the process, that sucked. but for the first time opening myself up fully again since like 7 years since the last time I felt that way.
Like the feeling, then being able to feel
I felt so much more and so much more intensely, and also the
although
joy.
it's negative, it's you feel.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
That's.
I think a lot of things have positively changed. So work-wise, a lot of things have settled more. I'm in a financially better position. I'm in a socially better position. I'm still figuring out my health, like physical health. It's still a work in progress.
Yeah.
But everything has just become significantly more authentic and real and intense. Like the highs have been higher, but also the lows have been lower, because last year, for example, I have felt more lonely than I felt in the last 10 years as a whole.
Yeah.
But it's also because I simply stopped running, and I sat with that loneliness.
Yeah.
And that was pretty fucked up. It hurt. But as a result, I am in a much better place right now.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest difference. I stopped hiding behind meaningful work, and also the work that I'm doing today has become significantly more intense and qualitative. And my clients are commenting on the work that I'm doing in a much different way than 3-4 years ago.
Beautiful, Kevin. I can also really feel this intensity also in this interview, the openness and the emotion that you're sharing. And well, I don't know how grateful I am to be at this place with you.
Thanks
and
for
to hear this story. I think we can all learn a lot from that. Take care. We'll see each other.
Thank you. You too. Cheers.
Cheers. 2 times. 2 times is way more than enough. 2 times is way more than enough.
It's good that we have that as taped already. Like,
I think that really the conversation with Kevin made me also realize that I'm running quite hard as well, and I'm putting like the challenge of having 5 of these conversations, uploading 5 of these conversations at 7 in the morning, also breaking my night, but also doing it 5 times. I have 5 times to travel all around the Netherlands, and maybe go a bit out of the Netherlands if I get to get other contacts. This made me realize this conversation with Kevin that it's good to feel, and I really feel that I should really slow down to make it also manageable with all the other things that I have in my life. So from here on, I will promise that I will do it 2 times a week, and I will upload it around dinner time in the evening. So you have 2 times a week. On Tuesday and on Thursday, you will have an interview with an interesting person on a pay it forward base. With a life lesson that at least hit me deep today, and I hope it also will inspire other people to make more choices for themselves. I wish you a very pleasant day, and see you around. Still running. The battery's not dead.
yeah, still running. Yeah.